Good morning, everyone. We are officially in Texas summer heat, and so I was gonna try to get outside and garden before the sun came up. And this one's awake with me, so I think we're gonna give it a go. On you coming? Huh? Are you gonna come with me to the garden? Let's see how much work we get done. It is super wet out here. I am in North Texas, and we are in the midst of summer officially. It was actually super mild until about a week ago, and now we're full blown hot, hot, hot. So you have to get outside and work in the garden before the sun comes up. I'm actually out here a little bit later than I wanted to, but we have some good cloud coverage, and I'm gonna see what all I can get done today before I need to go inside or before the sun comes out. My kiddos are all entertaining each other on the inside, so we shall see how long that lasts. That may not last very long. As you can see, it is super wet out here. We had a pretty crazy storm come through last night. I was planning to harvest my potatoes and onions today. Not quite sure if I'm still going to do that with how wet it is, but I also just really need to get it done. But I also need to sweep the walkways, so maybe we'll start there. It's so much more fun to harvest though, right? We had a storm blow through on Memorial Day, which was a couple weeks ago, and we got pretty crazy hail, which knocked back a lot of my vegetables, a lot of my plants. And my mom came over and we got out here, we pruned everything really good the next day. And actually a lot's really coming back, but I'm kind of curious to see overall what that's gonna do to my garden this year. I did go ahead and re-sow a lot of things I could, like the zucchinis that really got damaged, but you can see over here that I still have 3 really good zucchinis growing. Okra is suffering because it has not been hot. That's kind of something that needs heat. Overgrown beds right here, the strawberries and asparagus running wild. It's my second year. I've been told to just let them burn out like this, but man, it's kind of hard to deal with, that's for sure. I'll probably eat this guy. Sweet potatoes, onions, potatoes, all of our berries are in the back, and herbs all around. So I plan to harvest all of these. It's going to be today, we shall see. And then I'll re-prep the beds and we will do our winter squash in that. If my calculations are correct, I have 30 minutes to work in the garden. Maybe interrupted, as I'm seeing the toddler look at me, or uninterrupted. So we're gonna see what we can get done in 30 minutes today. I'm gonna show you what 30 minutes of working in your garden can look like. I'm a pretty efficient person. It's also earlier in the morning, so I'm slower, so I'll probably be that happy medium today of what all you can get done in 30 minutes for folks who are super laid back and folks who are go, go, go. Today, I'll be in the middle. I think I'm going to start by sweeping up the walkways. I got this new broom. I like the weed fabric in the walkways, and it makes it a little bit easier to manage the walkways. So before I move on to the aisles on the other side, which there's a lot more of, I'm gonna check and see if I can harvest anything, because as you can see, a lot of these onions are falling over. Let's not judge the grass that needs to come out for sure. We deal with a lot of crabgrass here. These beds actually look amazing compared to last year, but this is what it is. Do you want to pull an onion out? So if they're falling over, we can pull them out. Found an earthworm. It's a little bitty one. To the guys that are ready, went ahead and pulled them. They're a little smaller than I would have hoped. Like the biggest ones are what I would have hoped for, the smallest ones. But we got knocked back by that hail, and they really have not grown a lot since. It's probably a combination of grower error and the hail. What'd you think? I did weed a little bit along the way just to get on top of it. Not perfect, just weeded a little bit. It's real life. So we are, all right, we're 20 minutes in. Oh, and we want to be held. So I've got about 10 minutes left, maybe, if this one lets me. And I'm gonna get the rest of the walkways swept. Again, this is what 30 minutes in the garden can look like, even with a toddler.
You climbing?
Never.
Show me how you climb.
You about to head to work?
Yeah.
So you know how I always try to like fit way too much in a day or time. So I said, I'm gonna try to do as much as I can in 30 minutes in the garden so people can see what that looks like. And I was like, I'm gonna harvest all the potatoes and the onions. Let's start laughing right now.
Yeah.
All the potatoes and the onions, and I'm gonna sweep all the aisles and weed along the way. So even halfway through, I was like, 10 more minutes, I can sweep all this. 10 minutes and we're 3 rows in.
Yes, this is life.
This is my
With
life.
Keisha.
But they look good. So, oh, and it's obviously time to go in and expired. So, what you can do in 30 minutes in the garden.
3 rows.
Sweep 3 rows, and I harvested onions and I weeded along the way. Actually, I swept the other 3 rows too. So, but all in all, it's like on my list of things that need to get done in the garden, this is like a third of the way. So I think if I do this every morning this week, I'll be super caught up by the end of the week. Again, me overshooting on my goals. I'll probably not get to do it every morning, but this is real life on a homestead in a garden. Thanks for joining. If you have any tips on how to make things more efficient with a toddler, like actually that's the hardest thing for me. So I would love to know like things to keep my toddler busy. Even though it's my 3rd child, I'm a midwife and I know babies really well. Toddlers are the harder one for me. So I will take any busy tips. I have a water table ordered on the way. We have one of those really cheap swim pools that I'll throw in the garden as well for her to play in. I feel like those are so fun because you can lug around anywhere. I have her own little garden tools. She was pretty content today for this half hour, but if you have tips, please share. Till next time. All right, Lennon, that's a wrap. Let's go inside. We're gonna let these guys hang out here till nap time, dry off a little bit. You ready? Let's do it. Let's go get some breakfast. Don't worry, she's had a snack. You've had your snack already. You ready to go? You gonna guide me out? Oh, okay, tell us. All done. That's right. Let's go.